What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and here we are for a Friday hangout, talking about whatever you guys want. Of course, this actually was a pretty okay week in terms of news. Next week is really looking like it's going to be something very, very big. I'm very excited to cover everything that happens next week. So I figured we would, just kind of hang out, talk about whatever you guys wanted to, the bigger news stories. There is one Suicide Squad thing actually that I did want to get to specifically in this live stream because it came out as these Suicide Squad things do. They make an announcement or they delay it, or there's a rumors of a delay, and then I'll cover it. I'll be like, immediate on the scene. And then right afterwards, there'll be like a rumor as to why the game was delayed. Um, each time, like every time. So me covering it like immediately after is good, but then there's like an extra phase. So let's talk about that extra phase first. And I believe it came from Jez Corden, who talks about that the one of the reasons or the primary reason or whatever you want to say is that it was to remove the online only component. So that's pretty interesting. It's not I guess that would maybe take 9 to 10 months to be able to pull off. I wouldn't think that myself, but what do I know? Um, but I guess the idea of removing, it being only multiplayer or only online, that you imagine that maybe carries its way into the base game, right? Which is the concern in a good way, what people would actually want changed. The thing is, and I guess I covered the bases when I covered the Suicide Squad delay, in that you're not going to fix and it's sad because you'll see on Twitter, I saw even in the comments, right, from some people, hoping that certain things will be fixed. And I mean, again, flat out, it's really not going to happen. Flat out, a lot of what this game is staying what this game is. If you want a complete overhaul, that's fine. Firstly, secondly, you have to understand that it's most likely not going to happen, and also it takes longer than less than a year to pull it off. You would need 2, 3, plus years in order to do it. So I buy the idea that it's only for removing like one thing here or there. As I've said, I think it could honestly just be lining up like more content. So it comes out in February and then they're ready to go. They got stuff like weekly ready to drop, or probably not weekly, but they got it all planned out. Whereas maybe now they don't. That would make sense to me. That would make sense to me. So hello everybody. How's everybody doing? Um, Let me know what you guys, if you want to talk about anything in particular. If you don't let me know, I'm just going to probably go off on rampages of different things. Um, Suicide Squad was one of the bigger things that happened this week, but we got a bunch of Horizon stuff. Horizon Burning Shores took us to the next level. Today, the Minecraft Legends review scores went live. And then next week, oh, I'm so pumped. I'm so pumped for next week. Actually, all throughout this week, Crash Team Rumble has also been doing kind of some explanations for how to play the game or what the game actually is. Which I will say, post it, like, I like that they're doing it, but posting 3 to 5 minute explanations daily on what this game is, I don't know if that's actually a good thing. Because doesn't that kind of mean that you assume people have no idea what this game is? It's just a thought. Do you think Spyro? Well, yes. You know what, Epic. I saw what happened, the Activision banner thing, and I was considering making a video. I thought Canadian guy A would have made the video, and last I checked, at least yesterday maybe, he didn't. So I don't know what's taking him so long, but I never covered the Spyro thing, but I did see it, and I do think it's very obvious that it's happening. Activision, basically, for those that don't know, Activision changed their banner, at least on Twitter. I don't know if they did it anywhere else, other socials, but they did it on Twitter, and Spyro is now in the far left of the thing, of the image. Now, there's heavy rumors and heavy speculation that Spyro will be in Crash Team Rumble, which I do think he will be, probably as like a DLC character down the line. So it could be for that. It doesn't have to be for a new Spyro game. Because I do think, like, technically in this year, 2023, I do think we'll get Spyro, but I think we'll get Spyro as a character in Crash Team Rumble, which is still sweet. That's epic. But in terms of a full-on game, that would probably have to wait. But I do think there's a game being made, like 100%. By the way, I like doing this on StreamYard. That way I can pull up your comments because it just makes it look a little bit better. Are there any comparisons between the situations of Gotham Knights and Suicide Squad, especially the gameplay? Um, I think no. Well, personally for me, I think the gameplay for both look very different. Um, the gameplay got a lot of bashing for Suicide Squad. I honestly don't fully agree, only because it reminds me of Sunset Overdrive, which I do think is a fun game. I do think works. I think if this game, the floatiness, the fast movements, the kind of latching on to one thing and latching on to another thing, I think that could work. Also, Rocksteady is pretty good with controls. Even the bat, everybody hated the bat tank, whatever you want to call it. I thought it felt fine. Like I thought it was actually kind of fun to move around and shoot. And then Batman himself, I thought he was the free flow combat I thought was really good. So I don't doubt that they can make the game fun. It's the elements of it. It's the shooter element. It's the guns and the menu. It just looks like Call of Duty and the live service. Those are the things for me. Maybe that's not the issue for everybody else, but for me, it's the guns, and each one's a little bit, it's specific for this thing or that thing, which really is no creativity for the characters. It's just their abilities. But the guns are all the same. It's all about specs, leveling up. There's so many enemies on the screen. They pop off those really weird, what do you want to call them? Like elements or materials that drop off of them. Those are the things for me that kind of upset me. And those are the things that I do not think are going to get fixed, or at least some of them are not going to get fixed in this patch. Well, it's technically one big patch because it's a delay. Do I think it's going to be a good game? No, honestly, I think it may be a solid game at launch, but the issue is because of what they want it to be, a live service lasting multiple months, if not years. I think for the game they want it to be, it's not going to be a good game. I think for, a game that releases and is good for like a week or two, and maybe the story is good, so maybe you tell people, hey, buy Suicide Squad for the single player elements. I could see that. Like I totally could see that. I'm down on the game, I suppose, but I've tried to cover it fairly. I've made a lot of videos on it. You know what I mean? Like I'm still gonna buy it day one. So I don't know. There's other people, in the space that cover either gaming or they just cover DC stuff, and they largely ignore the controversy, even though it's a legitimate thing. I think we should talk about. And then they'll get their codes and stuff. I probably won't. Do you think that would be the downfall for Suicide Squad since it's only next gen? No. I like games that are only next gen. I think every game should be only next gen. So, especially, I mean, come on. By the time Suicide Squad comes out, it'll be February of 2024. People have got to upgrade. And I'm not saying, well, I guess I just said you have to. I get money. I get that like times are hard. They're definitely hard. I understand that. But it's totally unreasonable to expect the industry to stop for you. Like that's not how it works. So I think not literally the person who commented that, like people, anybody who says that kind of stuff. So games should only be on next gen. And by the time Suicide Squad comes out, that should not even be an excuse. And if the game doesn't sell well, you can't say, well, I mean, if it came out on PS4 and Xbox One, maybe it would have done better. No. Just you got to move on. So, yeah. When the deal is done, what deal? I do think the Mario movie will get the Mario movie. Well, I don't want to spoil it. The Mario movie will definitely get a sequel, and then there'll be other stuff. I think. Batmobile itself wasn't a problem, more of how it was used. Exactly. I actually think it felt good. I think both driving it and then the tank, I think legitimately felt solid. I had I've always held that controversial opinion. The tank, I didn't mind it. Now, like reducing fights to that, or certain things like that, some bosses, that was definitely a problem. But how they felt and kind of the what would be the word, like feeling good for like shooting other devices or machines, and like it felt. I liked it. I liked the feel of it. What they did with it, yeah, that was the issue. This delay sucks. Well, we did King Greek. We talked about it, a few weeks ago. We knew it was going to happen. I was a little surprised. Well, like we had heard that next year was possible, right? So it did not catch me like completely off guard by any means. Let me put that up. It didn't catch me completely off guard by any means, but it did catch me like slightly off guard because I was hoping that it would be like November, like you know what I mean. But then Jason Schreier, posting he believes it's possible that maybe Spider-Man scare. So maybe the game was supposed to come out even with this delay. The game is fine to come out in October or November, and they're just afraid of Spider-Man, and which is very possible and believable. I don't doubt that. So, don't you think this game could lead to a Justice League game in the future? I do. I actually do. And I think it depends on the lessons learned from this game, right? Because you could absolutely, their next game, Rocksteady, could be a Justice League game. And I think this sets it up, the potential, like better than ever before. The issue is, what lesson do they learn here? Do they try to do a Justice League game like a Suicide Squad game? Or does this kind of signal to them, okay, let's go back to the drawing board. We can keep the characters. We can keep the story. Let's make a not a cooperative thing. Let's just make a single player story where you'll jump around and you'll play as different Justice League members. And I think you could do that personally. So that's what I would pitch. I'm more excited for Dead Island 2 than Star Wars, but that's just me. I'm definitely more excited for Jedi than Dead Island. Like, it's not even in the same stratosphere, but I'm very excited for Dead Island. I'm very excited for next week in general. Like, Horizon really excites me, and all the stuff that we've seen gets me really pumped to play it again. And then Crash, I just really want to try that beta. Like, it could be bad, and I don't even think it's probably a 50-50 shot that Crash Team Rumble is like a good game in the beta or like an awful game. It's probably 50-50. So I definitely want to try it. And then after I try that, well, then you got Dead Island 2. So Dead Island 2, that's definitely how I'm going to end the week. Also, I'm thinking next week I want to do, I haven't live streamed the game in like a very long time. I feel like is Callisto Protocol the last game I played, and before that I don't even know what the last game was. So I'm considering like a Crash live stream, but I could be swayed to do Horizon or Dead Island. Maybe I could do Crash on the second channel and then one of them here, but they normally don't do very good gaming live streams, like literally playing a game. So you guys, I think these kind of conversations actually do better for live streams. Also, I don't know what, I think you guys may see a better version of this, but look at how like over here, look at how like it where's the stupid chair? It like melds with Batman back here. So yeah. Oh, I skipped that too. How do you feel? I feel pretty good and about life. I do think Assassin's Creed. Yeah, I think Assassin's Creed is probably pushed too. We'll see the Ubisoft event, which I think is June 10th, 11th, somewhere in that range. I think they'll give a date for Assassin's Creed there, and we'll see it. So that's when we'll know. It's hard to upgrade for PlayStation fans because it's hard to find a PS5. That's why I switched to Xbox. PlayStation is now, like, that is true. Over the last 3 months, I think PlayStation has bounced back, and it's readily, I have seen it easily buyable, accessible on Amazon. And I actually, for the very first time 2 months ago, like right around Hogwarts, I saw a PS5 at my local Walmart. So PS5s are definitely available now. For the first year and a half, I'd say, yes, you might as well just got like a Series S or something. So yeah. Since the characters all use guns, it'll be bad for game, same play style. Yes, that's that's what I'm getting at. The thing with the guns, again, I think it could be fun, and I think the floatiness doesn't necessarily have to be a problem. But the only thing, like the only individuality, the only thing that's like original would be like abilities, and if they're not very good, or even if there's like two, if each character has like two abilities, well, it's like, all right, well, the rest of you is just a gun, which is the exact same as another character. Now, the way they move around the world definitely looks different, so that's a big one. And I would accept that. I would take that. But I want more than that. A Ghost 2. Did Icky Island just come out last year, or was that 2 years ago? I think that was 2 years ago, right? Because Ghost came out July of 2020, and then Icky Island, I think, what was like August of 2021? Yeah, I think that sounds right, right? Or September of 2021. So it's been 2 years since the DLC, 3 years since the game came out. I think yeah, I think we could get a tease for it because it's probably still 2 years out. Like, I don't think we'd get Ghost 2 until 2025 at the earliest, but I think you could tease it. Yeah, this should be the year of every year, I guess you could say this. This could be the year of a lot of teases for games coming, and also a lot of games that we already knew of. How cliche does this sound? The more I'm talking about it, the more it sounds stupid. I guess what I mean by that is like Ghost of Tsushima 2, I think could be shown. It's been forever since since they announced The Last of Us multiplayer, but now they'll finally show it. You go to Xbox, Indiana Jones. Hellblade, they have shown some stuff, but I think Indiana Jones is a good example. Like, show it. Or Avowed has been gone for so long, but we know that it's relatively close. So, there's a lot of games, and those are just a couple examples from two publishers. You know what I mean? So we should get a lot this year. Assassin's Creed has gone downhill after Black Flag and Origins. Yeah, well, I played both of those much, much later, and I did the kind of retrospectives on them. Love Black Flag. I did like Origins quite a bit too. Have never played Odyssey or Valhalla. I've still not played like Syndicate, Unity, like some of those Rogue. I never played some of those like later tail end of that era of Assassin's Creed. I want to, and I will, but I believe that. Could a live service Star Wars game work? Yes, but I'm generally very opposed to live service. I think hate's the right word. I hate live service games. Overwhelmingly, not I guess not all of them. Like, is Rocket League a live service game? Is Dead by Daylight? They are, I think. So I don't hate all of them, but what I always say with live service games is, like, I'd just rather you not. But also, one of the reasons I'd rather you not do it is because you look at they all want to be popular. They all want to be in the top 10 of Steam's thing. They all want everybody to play it for the next 2 years. So you go and you look at like the Steam top 10 or top 20, and there's some pretty good games. Like, the games that are playable and still good, still living on years and years later, there's some really good ones. All live service games aspire to is to be that. The issue is there's not even hundreds. There's thousands upon thousands of live service games that fail, that are not on that list. There's 20 that are like playable every day. People do play it by the tens of thousands and then more. But there's thousands of games that get played by nobody, or they get played by a couple hundred or a couple thousand. And, if you are one of the couple thousand that play some unheard of game, that's fine. And those games can maybe live. But every game's trying to do, or at least most games are trying to do, like that top 10 thing. So, on top of the industry standards and microtransactions and season passes and battle passes, there's a lot of reasons why I hate live service. I'm excited for Jedi as well. The last game was hard for me because I'm afraid of spiders. Yeah, there were a lot of spiders. Not as many as Hogwarts. Hogwarts just went all in on spiders. I don't think we've seen any spiders in any of the. Now, that doesn't mean there won't be any for Jedi Survivor, but we haven't seen any, I don't think. Tomb Raider. Yep, that's another one. I think they promised last year that they would show it this year. So I do think this would be the year that we see Tomb Raider. The Final Fantasy thing was good. I skimmed it. I didn't watch like sitting down all the way through all 25 minutes, but I just kind of watched a couple sections of it. It looks amazing. Like I'm sold already. I don't need to see any more. And so largely I didn't. Like largely I didn't watch the whole thing. So yeah. So I'm in. I mean, I'm getting it immediately, you know. Man, when I get my hands on Jedi Survivor. Yeah, it's gonna be a big one. I've had some fun with the videos that I've made. The one I made yesterday, I'm proud of. I talked about ranking the characters' odds of dying. I haven't seen a single. See, the thing I've said this kind of behind closed doors. The thing that you see if you like search for a lot, and I like it. I like that I do things that are maybe not like they're not like super super high quality, but they are different. I think factually. If you like search Jedi Survivor, all you're gonna get are 10 things that you need to know, or like that kind of stuff. Literally that's all you really get. And even I've done that before, where you get people that do trailer breakdowns, and I've done that before as well. But I like to do that. And then I also like to do things like make a whole video on Darth Maul, right? Will Darth Maul be in the game? Or ranking who's likely to die. I've never seen that video on Jedi Survivor. You know what I mean? So hopefully people liked it, because I do think it was different. Do you think Pragmata will be? I do think it's going to get delayed. But I also, when I was researching it for that video I made last weekend, I didn't know how much Capcom I think really value. I think Capcom really wants Pragmata to do well and like be a big thing. So I didn't know that. Like I thought it was not like a throwaway, but I thought it was just like an odd, different kind of game. But like they look at it as like a big franchise and a franchise starter. So it may be delayed till next year, but I think when it comes out, there'll be a lot of talk on it. More than there is now, which is none. There's no talk on this game right now. New Star Wars strategy game? Has there been an announcement of that and I'm too stupid to realize it? I would take just like Midnight Suns, I would take a variety of different genres of Star Wars games. So hopefully there is some sort of Star Wars strategy game. Or maybe you can tell me if I missed it. I am going to make content on Silent Hill 2. That probably is shown either at a Konami show in June, which I assume Konami will do something in June on their own, or PlayStation. One of the two. And I mean, it may come out October, November, right? So I would definitely, I'll cover it. What I'm trying to do now, specifically because I've really split up the channels, like I've really tried to make them separate from each other. I'll cover like broad topics, or if I'm interested in a game that comes out next year or whatever, if I find a franchise that I really like to cover, I'll make Hogwarts Legacy style videos where it's just a lot of them. But generally for games that are coming soon, I try to wait like a month and a half before, and then I really start to cover it. So like I've made like 10, 12 Jedi Survivor videos in the last couple of weeks. Starting maybe next week or the week after, I'm going to start making Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the game, not the movie. I'm start making those videos. So about a month or so, Crash Team Rumble, Redfall, I've obviously made some videos. I don't have too much to say about games like Diablo and stuff. So that's why I don't really cover that as much. During the PlayStation Showcase, do you expect us? Yes. Yeah. I think Spider-Man will be the headliner of the PlayStation Showcase, personally. Robbie Keane, what's up? Yeah, Icky was 2021. Yep. So it's been, yeah, I think Ghost will get, I think it's time to like reveal a logo or say that they're doing it. Like we all know they're doing it. I'd like to know, like, are they making more than one game? Which I think they could be, like making Ghost of Tsushima and then making something else. So it's definitely time to show that. I'm trying to think of like other of the Sony first-party games. Like now, Media Molecule is working on their next game. You're gonna get The Last of Us multiplayer. It's too early for like God of War, so it's really gonna be driven. But I think we will see. I was thinking about making a video about this soon. We still need info / like a release stuff for the Twisted Metal show, and then remember they're doing a game, like a live service game to match it. So we should see Twisted Metal soon. So that's one as well. Goodbye. My wife's leaving. Not for good. Maybe for good. Dying Light 3. I think it's possible, but they take their time. So you're looking at like 6-7 years from now. This could be a year for a lot of delayed games. Well, every year is like there's a wave of the games that should have come out the year before it, right? Like every year since the what has been like that. There's no way Indiana Jones is on PS5. 0% chance. The Five Nights. I won't cover it because I truly don't care enough. But I will do a review on Podcast Now Plus of the Five Nights at Freddy's movie for sure. Just cancel Suicide Squad. The issue is, I get that. I think that's not the worst take. You know what I mean? I think obviously a lot of us know the issue with canceling Suicide Squad is like how much money you want, like $100 to $200 million went into that game already. You imagine, right? So you're not gonna scrap that. I'm getting Jedi Survivor for my birthday. It's coming out 2 days before. Nice. What a birthday gift. Finished RE4. Great game. I gave it a 9 out of 10. Now I'm currently playing Sherlock Holmes Awaken. It's pretty good. I saw that game, some of the sites that I am a part of for like review codes and stuff, I saw that game on one of them and I never requested it. It kind of like slipped right by me. Isn't there a Star Trek? Did that game already come out? There's like an indie Star Trek game that comes out. That's kind of like a choose your own thing. And I think it maybe already came out or it's going to come out at the end of this month. Somebody was asking me to cover it. And then I watched it. And I'm not really into Star Trek at all in general. And then the game doesn't look all that great. So, but RE4, yeah, that was a great game. Here, what's funny about Resident Evil 4? Well, number one, it's not my favorite Resident Evil game. And I've said that before. But what I find cool about it is I think it lasted. It's for me like it's only gained respect. Like when I beat the game, I thought it was great. As the weeks have gone on, and there's like absolutely nothing to play, as they've gone on, I'm like, you know what? I actually like it even more. I don't think I would go back to it. Like I'm not going to go back and play it again right now. I probably will eventually, but I was like, I actually like this game definitely more now than I even did when I was playing it. And I don't know actually how many games I feel like that's kind of rare. Star Wars Old Republic. I've always wanted to play that game. And now that I have an okay computer, I can play it. I just never have. Maybe I should. 007. Ooh, I wonder if, yeah, that's probably possible. It's not surprised Suicide Squad's been delayed. Unexpected that it's been pushed to next year. Yeah. What do you think of the Immortals trailer? Loved it. Well, let me two things to that, Nerdy Giant. Number one, well, three things. Loved it. I think it's really cool. I love the Doom, some Ghostwire Tokyo, their words of, well, I don't think they said it, but the idea of like COD without guns or without things like that. But I did on Podcast Now Plus yesterday. We watched it live for the first time. So you can get my kind of raw reaction from that. And then tomorrow on Podcast Now Plus, I do a whole video talking about it. Just talking about that game. So I think I'll be covering it for sure. It comes out July 20th. There's really nothing in July. I'm seeing my parents actually. I go on vacation and I use air quotes because I still do videos when I'm there. But I'm going to see my parents or my family from July 2nd to July 13th or something. So it'll be like a week after I come back. By the way, I have no idea how I'm going to make so many videos when I'm there because I'm making more videos now than ever before, and I need to stop. um, Hellblade 2, I think, could sneak out in December. I think it could. Then I would want nothing more because if Hellblade 2 does come out this year, it rises in my like most anticipated because I Hellblade 1 I really loved. I love that game a lot. So I would definitely be excited for 2. Oh, the Respawn strategy game. Well, I guess it's possible that they show it as early as like the summer, but you probably want to give it a little bit of a breather from Jedi Survivor to, even announcing it. I completely forgot about that game. I only remembered, I know Star Wars Eclipse obviously is happening. Amy Hennig is making a Star Wars game, and then I guess Respawn has their second game. Is that the Respawn strategy game? Is that the same? Is that the first person? Is that the first person one? Are they doing like a first person shooter one of Star Wars? Or did I just make that up? Maybe I just made that up. Party Animals was supposed to release first half of this year, and still nothing. Well, there's been a couple games, that have done that, but then they'll just randomly, appear. Like Gollum. Gollum was like that, and then Gollum comes out, end of next month. So there's no way Tomb Raider's coming out this year. No way. But I think it could be shown at Summer Game Fest or something. Redfall be good or let people down? I think it'll my bold prediction for Redfall is it'll probably be more solid than people think it is. It all depends on people's expectations. Like I'm going in hoping for like a solid game. That's it. Solid game. And I think I'll get that. I think if you're going in expecting it to like save Xbox or whatever the expectation is, I don't think that's going to happen. But you'd be crazy to say that people's expectations for Redfall are the same as like Starfield, right? Like they're in two different ballparks. So I think Redfall will be fine for what it is, and then Starfield is the one that people will. And plus, Redfall comes out around so many other games that it could also kind of be forgotten. Starfield, everybody's going to be looking. You're going to have the Sony fanboys, Xbox fanboy, like everybody, haters of both sides. You're going to have all these groups looking at Starfield. On top of like the millions upon millions that'll play it. So that'll be a lot different. I hope a Battlefront 3 happens. I think the issue is if it's a different company that makes it, I think they'd start over. So I think again we would get Battlefront, Star Wars Battlefront, which is so stupid. This will never get a Battlefront 3. Don't spam Ashwin. But yes, it seems like they'll add an offline mode. If a new Batman game was coming out, what would you like the plot to be? Oh, I don't read almost any comics, so I really don't have like a preference, of different eras of Batman. Just make it good. Just make it good. The biggest thing with Batman would be the casting. Like the first issue you're gonna have is who's the voice, So I do think there'll be another Batman game. I came up with an idea about a week or two ago about, like a Batman Arkham Asylum remake. I do think we're kind of getting close to the era where we could get those games remade. Like, I think we'll get Batman games, but they may be like that first, and then we would get a brand new Batman game. Mirage was definitely delayed. Mafia 4? Oh, years. Probably 3 or 4 years. Because there's still hiring. Or of course they're hiring. They're still in pre-production for it. So, I don't think that's the sad thing too is Mass Effect, because I think Dragon Age will come out. The rumor was Dragon Age, right, was supposed to try to come out end of this year. I think that'll be delayed. So I think Dragon Age probably comes out next spring, like April to June. That's what I think Dragon Age. So Mass Effect is probably like a year and a half past that. So I don't think we get Mass Effect until like fall of 2025 at the earliest. At the earliest. So Back to the Past. I have a long list of the Back to the Past stuff. I kind of do believe GTA 6 could be next fall, to be honest with you. I do. I definitely don't believe the multiverse. Yeah, the more I think about that rumor, if he's right, well, again, he did say multiverse, so he kind of screwed himself there. But I think the idea of like rifts, like using an ability that can or the enemies use an ability that can transport you from one area to the next. If that's what he's talking about, I think that makes sense, and I wouldn't be surprised if that's in the game. Resurgence, yeah. Resurgence. It got delayed into May now. Yeah, it was supposed to come out in 2021. Jesus. It doesn't look very good. I mean, I'll just say that. I'll say that to keep it short and not dig into it too badly. But I was not impressed by it. Did they cancel the Star Wars Old Republic remake? I was thinking about this, no joke, like 2 hours ago. I was considering a video on it. I think I'll give them the summer to see if they say anything. I would like some sort of confirmation, though. I personally don't think it's been canceled. I don't think it's been canceled. Scream 6 was great. I got the 4K Steelbook coming in May or something. What's your take on COD? So pretty different, I think, than the average person. So like COD, I'm not really into like first person shooters. I will play them. I actually just replayed Bulletstorm for my third channel, Back to the Past. Bulletstorm is such a good game. So I do like first person shooters. I just don't really play them all that much. COD I pieced out like 10 years ago. Like probably no joke, 10 years ago. Just kind of out of, it's not like it wasn't bad. I never thought COD was bad, like ever. It just, I kind of grew away from it, that kind of style of games. And then a friend of mine, friend of the channel, both definitely a friend of mine, he messaged me this past November, and he said he had a code for the new. I don't even know the name. I don't even know what the last COD was. I played it. I don't remember the name. And he's like, "Do you want it?" And I was like, "Sure, I'll take it." And I played it, and I actually kind of liked it. Like I played the multiplayer probably like 15 hours. I really like it. I've always generally liked COD. I've always generally liked Battlefield, but I just don't play them a lot. That's kind of, I like single player story, character driven game. Like those are my cup of tea. But I'll play shooters, especially like a story shooter. Like that Immortals of Avium game looks really good. That technically is a first person shooter. It is. I mean, I think that's how you should consider it. They should definitely remaster Black Ops 2. What would you think of Rockstar doing an open world medieval game? Oh, I'd love it. I'd love it. That would be the dream, wouldn't it? They're doing well. I mean, it would be like past, present, future. So they've done present, they've done past because of the Western, and then you'd be wanting them to go like super, super in the past. I think you could do that. That'd be freaking sweet. No. Amy's game. No Amy game is coming out this year. Keep forgetting Minecraft Legends is a thing. Yeah, they haven't done a great job really telling people, but also I think it's for a very niche, although it's Minecraft, because it's an RTS, it's for a niche group, right? So that's probably the problem. Do you mean the announcement gets released next week, or you think Mortal Kombat, literally the game, would come out next week? Because that would be nuts. That would be nuts. Chief Commando, what's up, buddy? Did you hear about Jack Black? I did see that. Red Dead movie, I think, would definitely work, like for sure. How will stream mode work with Dead Island 2? Because certain games have stream mode get you copyright. Yeah, I think you just have to kind of, well, every creator, if a company tells you that there's a streamer mode, you kind of just have to trust, at least for the first day or two, that they're telling you the truth. If they're lying to you, if they messed up and there's a song that kind of goes under the radar, you'll know. You'll know like in a day or two. Life is Strange. I think of I thought of a Life is Strange game yesterday. I also thought of a remake of the first game, which I do think will eventually happen, even though I much prefer you leave it alone. Do I think we'll get a new one next year? No, probably not next year. Because it was 2021, True Colors. It'd be 3 years. No, I probably think 2025. Give them one more. Specifically because Deck 9 is doing like way too much, really, to be honest. So it may take them longer. Boom Studios Power Rangers. I love Power Rangers. Can we get a Power Rangers like RPG? Like just a very specific Power Rangers RPG game? That'd be freaking sweet. Yeah, I would let K-Wing write it all day long. Developed by VG. Yeah. I think honestly that'd be a killer freaking team. I keep pitching the Scream game. I mean, that's what I would do. If I had like unlimited money, right? If I had hundreds of millions, if I had a studio, I would just bring in other people that other people really respect. So I would try to get like as many Scream creators, and we would all like kind of collect. I think I could probably craft an okay Scream game, like a storyboard. I think I can't draw, but I think I could do it. But that's what you got to do. You got to find people that are good at individual things. Wonder Woman, yep. Dragon's Dogma. Oh man. Hopefully next year. I haven't really I've kept up with it like when they announced it or they teased it that it's like in development, but I haven't dug deep to know like when they started development and then like how many years that would take. So maybe next year, but I probably to be safe not, but I don't know when it started because I don't remember. Hellboy. Well, we are getting a Hellboy game. It's not the Hellboy game I would have made myself. Whoa, 2025, 26, maybe early. My God. Well, I mean, you may know more about when it started versus me. Like, if they just started it when they announced it, then yeah, it's going to take forever. It's going to take absolutely forever. Yeah, I definitely do. I want to stream the Crash game. The question is, will I stream it here or will I stream it on Podcast Now Plus? Well, I can say this because I streamed Horizon last year twice and it did terrible. So I think Burning Shores would probably be a mistake to stream. Dead Island, I really don't know how it would do. So maybe it's just a two-way race between Dead Island and Crash. Is I kind of, I think the coverage of Burning Shores will do well, and it already has done very well for me. But I don't think live streaming Horizon works, at least not for my channel. I love Firewatch. I love it more now than I did. Now, Eclipse, I feel like is like, well, wasn't there the rumor that Eclipse would be like 2027? I think that was the rumor, right? 2027 for Star Wars Eclipse. So yeah. That's a bad one. That's a bad one to expect early. I look to you for that. I look to you for Transformers. I would definitely cover. I'll watch your things on the leaks and rumors and stuff. I don't have too much interest in covering it myself, but when there's like news, the beta, can't you already I signed up for it? Didn't we all kind of sign up for the beta sign up thing went live back in December. So I'm signed up for it. I mean, if there's like an open beta, I would definitely cover it leading into the beta, playing it, coverage afterwards. Transformers is definitely something I would cover. You know what I found is you can't buy War for Cybertron on any digital storefronts. It's on the Xbox store, but it says it's not available. So that sucks because I really guess I got to get it physically. I love War for Cybertron. So good. Robin Hood type game. Yeah. Was it called? It's Thief, right? The franchise Thief. Never got into it. And that newest game, definitely the gameplay turned me off of that one. I hope it's I think it'll be an original, like an origin story for 007. I hate when single player games require constant internet connection. Yeah, agreed. Not even just, it's true, not even just some parts of the country, but there's a lot of people that like military that are stationed overseas. And it was maybe a bigger thing back in the day. You would hear a lot about people that were in wherever, Afghanistan, even, right? That would have a PlayStation or whatever, and you would need the internet, and they couldn't do it. I don't know how big of a deal it is now, but yeah, the world is not 100% covered with internet, so there's some weak spots here and there. And also, it's not free internet. You pay for the quality. Some places you can't even get good internet, like the quality's kind of maxed out. It's just not a good thing to mess with. Like, you don't mess with that stuff. So yeah, I mean, give me a AAA, like an RPG Power Rangers game. Do it. Maybe it doesn't even have to be an RPG, but just give me a Power Rangers game and not Battle for the Grid. Um, Dead Island 2 since 2014. Is that when they announced it with the classic boardwalk? Is that what it called, or like pier walk, whatever it is? Was that 2014? Jesus Christ. Life is Strange 2 is garbage. I stand by that today. A few weeks ago, I was looking back at my old stuff because I don't like watch my old stuff, but I'll look back at like the stats of my old stuff, and I came across Life is Strange 2, and oh my god, I think I would definitely say things differently. I feel the same. I feel like that game is just a political game that's kind of garbage, that has no good story. The characters suck. So much of that game doesn't need to happen. It happens because of stupid decisions based off the characters' choices. So I hold a lot of those things, but I don't think I explained it well back in the day. But I think I've really only become good at explaining how I feel about things since like 2020. I think it's only really been like 3 years since I feel like this current version of me is good. Any version of me 2019 and earlier, I probably hold a lot of the same views, but I probably would explain things a lot differently now than I would have back then. But you grow. That's the thing with cancel culture. Not even like I would get canceled, but that's the thing with cancel culture is you can't grow. You can't ever improve upon yourself because you just get canceled. I think as you get older, you change at least a little bit, and you know. So yeah, if Alex makes the game, I'm buying it day one. Why? I would hope so. Thank you very much. No, I appreciate that. That's the older I get, obviously we still got a ways to go with the YouTube channel becoming successful and becoming like a real thing. That's first, and that's what I focus literally every day on. But if an opportunity ever sprung out to like specifically a Scream game or something maybe even like based on an IP that I truly care about, like I would do anything in my power to do that. It's not becoming. It's probably not a goal. It's probably a dream of mine, right? Like if I were to say a Scream game, that's a dream of mine to make. I guess it's not a goal. You could say that that's the issue, right? With people's like go do it, right? Don't say, well, I would hope I want to do it. No, you actually go do it. I could see people saying that. And then they're not wrong. They're not wrong. Instead of hoping for something, just go out and do it. I hold very strong that GTA 6 will be revealed. And I've said this for like 6 months now. Longer. When did the leak come out of GTA 6? I've said for a long time that I think GTA 6 will be shown at the Game Awards 2024. This Game Awards. This upcoming one. The 10-year anniversary. So I believe that. That's a far out prediction, but you can write it down. You can say whatever you want. Burning Shores will the ending of 2 already teases 3. So Burning Shores I think will also tease 3. The fact that Aloy already has the Far Zenith hand cannon thing already, she probably like went aboard the ship or took it from someone, or like there's probably already evidence of them getting ready for the threat for 3. So I think Burning Shores will hint at it. GTA 7 when? After 6. Is it going to change the gameplay from first-person shooter to sync? No. No. See, that's the kind of stuff that I know people want that. There is, take this to the bank, deposit it. 0% chance that that will happen because you just cannot do that in a year. You'd have to restart it from scratch. So you want 5 years for something like that. That would be enormous. The worst game I ever played. Oh, oh, worst game I've ever played. I played an I played an indie game that somebody gave me. They actually reached out to me. I won't say the game's name because I don't think that's nice. That game was pretty terrible. I hate Life is Strange 2, but I don't think it's necessarily the worst game I've ever played. I hated New Tales from the Borderlands. Is it the worst game I've ever played? I mean, I try to avoid the worst games. And is it was Naughty Bear? Is that the name of that game? Remember that game came out and people were giving it like zeros? I never played it. Maybe that would be the worst game I've ever played, but I never played it. So that's a tough one. That's a tough one because I try to avoid the worst of the worst. Like I hated Saints Row. I don't think that's the worst game I've ever played either. Yeah, maybe there's an indie game I can think of. Um, I'd say I've never had a stronger impulse to hate something than Life is Strange 2, though. Like I think that's my most hated game of all time. And you know the thing is, Don't Nod is still nice to me. I'm nice to them, kind of like behind the scenes. I wish them all the best. I actively support any new game they make, and I hate, I hate what they did with that game. So, am I still in connection with Hogwarts creators? Some of them, some of them. The Twitter thing didn't help because of me having to restart Twitter. So a lot of us don't talk anymore, but leading into two, if they want to be parts of things, but I think there's largely been like there's been like a split. There's been like creators have found kind of like their group of friends and people have kind of been kicked out of different groups, maybe inadvertently, whatever. So yeah, that's what I would say to that one. But I don't hate any of them. I wish them the best. And hopefully we can do some stuff for Hogwarts Legacy 2. But the literal question, I'm only in connection with some of them. I am most likely going to play Gollum. I guess I was going to say it comes out in a bad time. I guess it really doesn't for me because I'm not getting Street Fighter because I don't care about Street Fighter. But I am getting Diablo. So, but that's a while. I mean, that's probably like what, 12? That's probably like 2 weeks after Gollum. So I think that's enough time for me to, sink my teeth into Gollum. Oh, the Halo show has they are filming it. I think they were already done filming. I saw pictures months ago of them filming season 2. So, it's definitely happening. The question is, will it be good? Which I don't think it will be. The rumor is there is a Far Cry 7. Battlefield. I liked Hardline. I'm playing actually Bad Company 1 right now. Not like the second, but like a couple nights ago. I'm playing both the Bad Company games. So I like Hardline. I think I don't know if it'll be good. A lot of Resident Evil movies or shows, no matter if they're animated or not, turn out to be pretty awful. Not all of them, but some of them. So there's no guarantee that just because that trailer looked epic, that the movie's gonna be epic. But I will watch it. I have to wait ages and ages. Yeah. The gaming industry, let me tell you, Spaceman. I don't even know what this comment is directly talking about, but the gaming industry is just all about I forgot to do something. Oh boy. Hold on, let me do this on like a separate thing. The gaming industry is just all about waiting. Like that's the whole point of the gaming industry is just wait for games to come out. And that's literally it. So I personally hate it. but I guess when you're into so many games, it's not as big of a deal. X-Men RPG. Yes. I would definitely take that. I think that makes sense. You create a student of Xavier, and like I think that makes a lot of sense. Jacob Vision, what's up, buddy? Playing Midnight Sun, yeah. The thing is, well, because Midnight Suns failed commercially and it didn't sell well, so I don't think you can't do that for the X-Men, but you can definitely make an RPG out of it. Even if they didn't cast or don't cast a younger Bond, it can still be an origin story. I'm a Casino Royale. He earns 00 status in the beginning. Yeah. I think that was maybe just a hint that Henry Cavill could be it, Breaking Bad game would be freaking incredible. That ship sailed, I feel like, though. Oh, there you go. How come games go like this take years and years? Yep. Yeah. So I actually read your mind because I didn't see that comment before I said it. That's the thing with games, man, is they just take so long. And honestly, they take longer now than they ever did. We're living in an age of two things. We're living in an age where there's more games than ever before. It's not even close. And the quality is relatively good across the board. Okay. For sure. Back in the day, you go back 10 years, then you go back even 15 or 20. There are less than half the amount of games that are coming out as now. So the gaming output has doubled, if not tripled, in the last, let's say, 12 to 15 years. So there's that. On the other side of things, we're also living in an age where games take 3, 4, 5, 6 years instead of 1 or 2, So development has doubled or tripled time, but we literally have probably 5, 10 times the studios making games. So yeah, it's an odd era to be around, I guess. And I don't think we're living in the best age of gaming. I really don't. I know, some of my favorite games are from the last 10 years, but I think probably, I don't know. I guess it's maybe music, right? The age that you grow up in, everybody thinks that that's the best age of music or games or movies. Definitely don't think we're living in the golden age of movies. I think television, there's been some, here and there that can show that we're pretty okay. But there's also so much garbage. We're living in a good time for some television, but most television is awful. Movies, same thing. Most movies are awful. And gaming has kept the quality relatively high, but I don't know if I would say this is the best era for gaming. I feel like that was the PS3, Xbox 360 era. But that's the era I really got into gaming. So, you know what I mean? So again, it's maybe a little unfair. I do think Last of Us 2 will get a director's cut. I don't know why it hasn't happened. Halloween game. I think Halloween would probably be next up. I wouldn't be surprised if Halloween got a game before Scream. If you could choose, what game would you love to see from Sony, Xbox, and Nintendo? Well, do I have any limitations on it? If I had to choose an exclusive, Nintendo, I would do. I like Mario. Okay, Nintendo, I would do Super Mario Galaxy 3 if I'm picking established things. Xbox is tough because I do love Halo, but I think it's kind of overstayed its welcome. So I probably want a new game from Xbox. Because I'm trying to think of their flagship Gears. We don't need more Gears or Halo. I think it's fine if we get them, but we don't necessarily need them. And then Sony, an some Uncharted thing. But that's I don't know if that was the right answer to the question. I mean, come on, give me a Scream game. Do it. Yeah, why haven't there? Yeah, that's a great Clue board game, but with Scream. Why has that not happened? That's a genius idea. Did I skip something? Oh no, I'm not there yet. Try other fighting games. Don't knock it till you try it. I'm not knocking it. Saying that I don't care about Street Fighter does not mean that is not the same thing as me saying that I hate Street Fighter or that I think Street Fighter is a bad game. Those are not the same phrases. So that's not how I talk, right? Parker, you've been around long enough. Me saying I don't care about something does not mean even that I hate it. It just means I don't care about it. And I do like Injustice and Mortal Kombat and stuff. Been a long time. How are you? Newbie Gaming. I try to remember people. I have to be honest and say I don't remember you. But it depends on, I mean, if you last were on the channel like 3 years ago, I think it would make sense I don't remember you. But I'm doing good, buddy. How about you? Thanks for stopping in. 12 minutes. Ooh, I thought 12 minutes. The storyline was odd. It's not what I would have done. Okay. The ending, like where they went with the story for that. I'm gonna tell my wife something. The story of 12 minutes definitely took a turn that I would not have replicated myself. But I would not say it's like the worst game I've ever played. I have played Evil Within. Love both of them. Ooh, Anthem. See, I played the beta for Anthem. Well, okay, it's not the worst game, but like I didn't like Mass Effect Andromeda like at all. And I think people that say like it's aged better, like, oh, it's good now. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. But Anthem, oh, that's a good one. Oh, Fallout 76, I think is one of the worst games I've ever played. I bought that game day one. I hate Fallout 7. I hate it. I don't know if I still hate it. Maybe. Why don't you guys let me know? I know this was a question from 10 minutes ago, but put in the chat what's the worst game you've ever played. I think Fallout 76 would kind of be high on my list. And Anthem probably would too, but I never touched the main game. Thoughts on the Harry Potter show? Well, I'll tell you really briefly, but I did make 2 videos on the channel on it. So if you want like a full-on video, I have those. Just look in the video section of the channel. Okay, quick recap. I think you can do it better than the movies. And I think in that sense, it could be a very good thing. I like the idea of 1 season per book. I think you can get a lot out of that. I would like to know like the budget, like if it's going to be like a super high budget, super low budget. I'm just really scared of the casting and just, I guess, choice, like decisions. Like, will it actually be the place to watch Harry Potter, the book, put into something? Will this be the place? Or will it be like worse? Like, I love the movies, but I do understand that they don't tell a one-to-one tale of the book. But I don't think you can find a better Snape, a better Dumbledore, a better Harry, Hermione. Maybe you can find a better Ron. Never. I like Ron quite a bit, but I wouldn't say he's like one of my favorites. That's where I get really worried. I don't have confidence, and also the talent in Hollywood. Not even just actors and stuff. I think actors are probably fine, but the writing decisions and all these kind of things. People that work on CG, maybe they're still talented, and Marvel just absolutely hates them. But I get worried about that stuff. I don't think I would have said yes like 4 years ago, but I don't think they will. And I think it's just a Middle Earth game. It's Shadow of blank. But I would have said yes like 4 years ago. Now I would probably say no because my prediction is that they were making the 3rd Middle Earth game and they canceled it. I have no evidence, but that's what I think. The Last of Us Part 2. Well, I mean, like the story decisions made people very, very mad. But I don't know if it's the worst game ever created. I could never say that. No, I would definitely not agree there. Just because like the gameplay, the visuals, the acting, that kind of stuff, I just can't imagine you'd say is the worst. Can't wait to play Spot. Nice. Very good. Yeah. Donut has always been up and down. Like they've never been consistent. Never. Not one time. Except for all of Life is Strange. So there's that. I didn't mind Tell Me Why. I also didn't mind Twin Mirror, but neither of them were good. What I would consider good. I will be playing Last of Us Factions. 100%. I've kept up a little bit on the Power Rangers Netflix thing, but I don't know if I'll watch it. Like, I just don't watch much television. But I think I'd want to check it out just to see. But how often do things that have anything to do with legacy ever do it well? In Hollywood. In Hollywood, if you make something off of an old IP, how often does it work? I could make a great argument that Scream is one of the only ones. And I'd also be met with people that say that that's not true because they don't like Scream 5 or 6. I don't think Scream 5 or 6 are better, but I think that it's done a reasonable job of not dropping the quality. So, you think they'll ever continue Game of Thrones Telltale? I wanted them to just because I didn't like the Game of Thrones Telltale, but I also didn't hate it. And I would have taken more if they'd made more. And they set it up to make more, didn't they? So, or they were going to. They were going to make a season 2, and they didn't. So, yeah, of course. That's what these live streams are about. I like chatting with you guys. Have you watched? I did watch it. I loved it. On my second channel, I have 3 channels: Podcast Now Plus, and It's like Buddy the Elf. We stick to the 3 main food groups: candy. Oh no, 4 main: candy cane, candy corn, and syrup. No, I have Podcast Now Plus, and Podcast Now Back to the Past. And Podcast Now Plus is where I do most movie reviews. So I actually did a full review on that channel. But I really liked it. Sega is about to buy Angry Birds. Angry Birds still, number 1, Angry Birds is still around? Question mark. Number 2, it's worth $1 billion? Jesus Christ. Ashwin, I thought we went over this. The rumor is that they're going to try to take away the online only thing. So yes, I think they will add it. I don't think the next Ghost of Tsushima, right. It may not be called that. Although there were 2 invasions on the island of Tsushima. I remember looking it up at the time Ghost came out. There were 2, and they were not that far apart. I think it was like 10, 15 years later, maybe even less. That don't take me quote unquote for that. But there were 2 invasions of the island. So they could do it. They could literally make a sequel, call it Ghost of Tsushima 2, and everything would work. They couldn't do it 3 times. So I guess you'd have that issue. There could be a direct sequel to 4, but I don't think it'd be with Nate. I think it would be with Cassie. That's tough because Guardians didn't sell well. So I want there to be for sure. But I don't actually think they will. There's that. I think they will do Evil Within 3. Although I forget his name, but he left or he retired. So Evil Within 3 may be a little bit difficult right now. Yeah, that's true. Fallout, and that's why I said, well, I hated Fallout 76. Fallout 76 now is a vastly different game than what it was. So to say that I hate it now is not true, and there's no basis for that because I haven't played it. It could very much. Same with No Man's Sky. I really didn't like No Man's Sky. I thought, another game I hated? Evolve. Remember Evolve? Everybody's got to remember Evolve. Hated that game. What a letdown, actually. But see, I didn't like Dead Island for the same kind of reason. So excited. Trailer led me to believe, and then Dead Island came out. So, to be honest, I don't hate any games. If I don't like it, I assume you mean you don't play it. That's fair. Oh, sorry, newbie gaming. Stupid thing didn't show me a super chat. I appreciate it, buddy. Have you seen the Lord of the Rings mod for CK3? I'd love to have it as a standalone game. I did not. But the rumor, not even rumor. Who has it? What's the stupid? I forget the company. They're not stupid. Don't take me there. What's the company? Whoever bought the Lord of the Rings IP, they are definitely gonna make games. I want games that are like AAA, like a Middle Earth. kind of games. Gollum, well, I'm not against indies. In fact, I love indies, but like I want one gigantic. Like, give me The Witcher. I don't even like Lord of the Rings all that much. In fact, I like The Hobbit more in terms of movies. Give me Lord of the Rings as like an RPG, like a Witcher RPG. Like that would be freaking sweet. So I appreciate the super chat, buddy. And sorry I didn't see it. The thing didn't show me, and now it won't show me even what time you sent it. Dark Souls is my worst game. It's too hard. But does that mean it's the worst though because it's too hard? Long live Joel. Indeed. Indeed. My issue with the Harry Potter show is we know the story already. There won't be any mystery. We already know what happens. Well, didn't the to be fair, the movies came out after the books, so we also knew that too. But I guess the thing a thing that's gonna hurt this show every episode. But yet again, I think I thought this with The Last of Us, and it wasn't really true. I just feel like every comparison that you can make between the show and then the movies, people will, like naturally. So, like, I think every episode is just going to kind of be analyzed on: did we need this? Is it better than the movie version? You know, and like, did they cover everything in the right amount of time? It's going to be like this over analysis, rightfully so. Like, I think people will over analyze it, and I think it's right to over analyze the show. And that's just, and maybe it's unfair, but I think it's just something the show has at a disadvantage immediately. Immediately. On top of the first time you see Hagrid, you're going to say, no, like that's not Hagrid. You know what I mean? And Harry, everybody. And that's just not how you want to start something like this. So they may. Yeah, Scream. I love Scream 5 and 6. Hopes for a God of War sequel. I do want Kratos still. I want it to go to a different mythology. I don't care which. To be honest, I really don't. Like, you could do Egypt. You could do whatever you want. But I would still do Kratos. And if you wanted Atreus as part of it, you can. And I think Atreus should be like the Miles Morales kind of spin-off things. Like that's what I would do there. I love entertaining bad movies and was recommended to watch Twilight. It's probably a new favorite bad series. Nice. I watched all the Twilights except for the last one. And I definitely, I lean into it. Like, I don't mind them at all. Redfall is both. You can do Redfall. I don't know if it's always, I don't remember. I think they've already said. I don't know if it's always online, but you can play it single player. And if you play it single player, it's just you. There's not even like bots around. It's you in the world. So yeah. We need a Superman game. We do. Isn't the most successful game commercially Mine? I think, yeah. I don't know if it's Tetris, to be honest. I think Minecraft probably sounds right. So, yeah. No worries, Titan Gamer. Thanks, buddy, for being on. You know, I don't know if you already left, Titan Gamer, but I actually wanted to do just a Star Wars stream, and maybe I'll do that next week, like early in the week. I did want to do just a stream on Jedi Survivor. So, yeah, Evolve. I don't even think I didn't like it. I think for different reasons than other people didn't like it. But what a stupid game. Oh, that's true. There could be different kind of expectations for budgets and sales and stuff. That is a very good point. Embracer, isn't it Embracer Group? Embracer owns Lord of the Rings. Hopefully one day a Superman game. PS5 Pro. Well, the rumor is it comes out probably like next November. So I don't know. Like, what do you even do for something like that? I guess you have to look. Like, I don't remember when they've done the PS4 Pro. You could announce it like a year in advance. You probably should just wait till that year. So if I were them, I'd wait till next year, like early next year, to announce it. The Ghost movie? Well, they haven't even filmed it yet. So probably not probably like 2025, right? I'd imagine. Yeah, I think they make a. I think they would do a spin-off God of War game with Atreus. That's what I personally think. We'll get the Ubisoft Forward game. We'll get the Ubisoft Forward game at Ubisoft Forward on June 12th. I don't know what that means. I think we're going to get a lot at the Ubisoft Forward event, though, like for sure. Assassin's Creed, Avatar, and both should get release dates. Can we please see Beyond Good and Evil 2? That's probably asking a lot. Skull and Bones, we need the release date for Skull and Bones for sure. So, I mean, right there, there's 3 games. Splinter Cell. Oh, Star Wars. Yes, I think the Ubisoft Star Wars game would be shown there too. Yep, I agree with that as well. Well, probably head off. Had a pretty good chat. An hour 15 seems like a good time, good round time to do it. I appreciate you guys being here. I really do. I love doing these kind of hangout streams with you, and as long as people show up and ask questions, I'm willing to do it. So next week, I definitely want to do. Maybe I'll stream Crash. Maybe I'll stream another game on the Friday. It's been a little while since I talked Scream, so I may want to do that. We'll do a couple live streams next week for sure. Okay, so we'll just go from there. The Life is Strange show, I was thinking about that as a video topic yesterday, like a day ago. I thought of that too. I think it's in limbo. I feel like it's almost like they don't want to do it, even though they announced that they're going to do it. So I don't know. But I'm either going to do Dead Island 2 or Crash. I think that's kind of where I'm at. All right, guys. I appreciate you being here. Thanks so much for watching. Check out all the other videos that I'm sure will go up over the next couple of days. And however many live streams I do next week, hopefully I'll see you there. Okay? See ya.